Well, I'm out doing a little bit of late evening scouting, just looking for deer and waiting for them to come out into the field. But I've got a new pair of Alpen Teton binoculars. You know, a lot of times people will ask me, what binoculars are best in low light situations? Well, that's simple. The answer is the Alpen Teton binoculars. And the reason for that is they have the Abbey Koenig prism, which simply means it allows 94% of available light to get through these binoculars, making them an excellent pair of binoculars in low light. So if you're looking for a pair of binoculars that will see detail into a dark timber right now, this time of the evening, make sure you check out the Alpen Teton binoculars. You'll be glad you did. Oh, here's some deer coming out right now. You know, good optics are a must for a hunter, particularly binoculars, not only during hunting season, but times like this when it's time to start scouting. But there's one thing you need to do when you get your binoculars that a lot of people don't realize. You need to set them up for yourself. Everybody's eyes are a little bit different. And here's how I do it. It's simple and easy. Just take the binoculars and just kind of grab good focus on an object. And I go and put my hand over the left lens. The diopter ring, which is on the right side, I will go ahead and adjust that until that right eye is in focus. Once it is, I take the hand off the other side, both eyes in focus, and you're ready to go. It's simple and easy, and it's a must that you do this before you go out and use them. You know, here we are midsummer here in Iowa, and I'm just out doing some scouting, glassing deer, kind of taking an inventory of what I've got, and doing it from a distance. I've got one of the new Alpen spotting scopes. It's a 20 by 60, but one of the things I really like about this, it comes with a tripod, and it's got micro adjustments, so it's real easy to zoom in and move around and find those animals. But basically, this is a great tool to help me manage the farm all year round. If you're looking for a great way to do some scouting, do it in the evening from a distance with a nice spotting scope. You know, good optics are a must for a hunter. The new Alpen Tetons. They're lighter, they're better in low light, excellent glass. You'll be hard pressed to find that glass for under $1,000. Everything that you would want in a pair of optics. I know what I'm looking for, and once I know what I'm looking for and find what it is, that's what I'm interested in buying. The bottom line is they're affordable, they're lighter, and they're great in low light. The new Alpen Tetons. Another deer coming out.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to On the Hunt with Alpen Optics. I'm your host, Rick White, and on tonight's show, we've got Chris Davidson all the way from Pennsylvania, and believe it or not, we're going to give you a couple of our some easy go-to recipes during the show. So sit back and relax, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. And we're back. All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got a kind of a packed show here tonight, and we've got a guest all the way from Pennsylvania. And Chris Davidson is part of a TV show, Wild Memories TV. They have a show on the Sportsman's Channel, and it's a show that we are excited about sponsoring. Chris, how you doing this evening?
Pretty good, Mr. White. Thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
Yep. Also, just to let people know, AKA Boomer. So you might hear me calling him Boomer because that's usually what I call him. But your weather's been a little bit warm out there. I hear you making it through okay.
Yeah, hey, I'm an editor, so I'm sitting in the AC. But it's been in the high 90s, high humidity. So we're praying for some rain and a cold front to come through.
Yeah. Now, what part of Pennsylvania are you in?
I live right outside of Philadelphia, so
East Pennsylvania, right on the Bucks County, Montgomery County. Okay, all right. Well, I hunted. Let's see, where did I hunt? Years ago, I hunted just north of Pittsburgh. That's the first turkey I ever killed in Pennsylvania. And then we hunted, up around our mutual friend David.
Quite a bit, which is two different types of terrain, really. But you got some great hunting out there. How was your turkey season?
I got one in North Carolina. I missed one in New Jersey, and I ended up getting one in Pennsylvania on the third day of the season. So I had a good season overall.
I probably talked about this in previous shows, but people always seem to, want to get on people that miss, and I miss a lot. And I've always told
is a part of hunting, and if you hunt long enough, you will miss. And it's not always fun, but hey, it's just part of the game. And I actually did miss a couple of turkeys this spring.
And 100% my fault. But hey, it's just part of it. Your adrenaline gets going, and you're paying attention to all the other things that sometimes you don't take care of the things that you should be sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I had this one kind of hurt a little bit because it came all the way across the field, probably, I don't know, we heard them gobbling probably 200 yards, and then we saw them for about 100 yards. Two big toms came in, and they sat right down perfectly in front of the decoys, and I missed them at about 7 steps, so it hurt. So.
Yeah, I can imagine. Now tonight we're gonna talk about a few different things, but one of the things that we are going to talk about here briefly is just we're going to give people some tips on how to self-film. Going into the fall season, or maybe you just want to get out and film, nature, wildlife, whatever. But we're going to give you some tips on self-filming. But before we do that,
hey Rick,
yes.
Rick, I hate to interrupt. This Paul, the director, looks like we've got some technical difficulties once again with the audio, and so I'm trying to get it worked out as best that I can. It's something to do with the way we're hooked into the speakers.
Okay. All right. So did everybody just hear your message there, Paul?
Say again.
Did everybody online hear that?
Yeah.
What you just said?
Yes.
Okay. So it appears that we're experiencing some technical difficulties again. So we'll try to get through.
Get that fixed while we're talking. Boomer, you've got a busy schedule ahead of you. When hunting season rolls around, where are you heading this fall?
So this year we're headed to Premier Outfitters of Western Kentucky with Mark Cliff.
Guys headed out to Kansas to Nichols Farming and Outfitting. We have a hunt in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland. We're all over the map. In Ohio, we're there. So it's going to be a busy season, and also we have our traditional bear hunt as well.
Am I back? Am I back? Can you hear me okay?
You're on mute, Rick.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mr. White.
Hello.
It happens sometimes. It happens. I don't know.
Can you hear me? All right. If you can hear me, I'm going to leave and join back in here in just a second, because I guess something's going on here that I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah. So we're working on it. It's been an ongoing problem. It's just degenerated on us for the past couple of episodes, and I think it's something to do with the communications. But Boomer, you still there, right?
Yes, sir. Still here.
Excellent. So when it comes to
Okay, I think I'm back. Am I back in here?
all right, hang on a minute.
Hi, I'm Rick White, and today I want to share with you an easy but great tasting deer backstrap recipe. And it's really quite easy. The first thing I do is I just coat it with olive oil. I've got a backstrap here that I took from a deer last year. It's all cleaned up, ready to go. I just put a little bit of olive oil on it just to keep it from sticking on the grill. Just rub it on there. That's the first step. The next thing I do is I want to cut a pocket out of this backstrap. All right? Now I don't want to go through the other side. I just want to cut a pocket right down the middle. You can see how I'm opening that up. Once I've got that pocket cut open, and there's not any science to this, it's just pretty simple. Just try not to cut your finger. Now, I want to fill it with blue cheese and garlic. And I've got some blue cheese here. And really, how much of it just all depends on how big a backstrap you have. I just dump some in and fill it up. There's no exact measurement. Got the blue cheese in there. I use minced garlic. And just put a little bit of minced garlic in there. And if you like garlic, just add a little bit more. And just kind of push it in, get it right in that pocket, close it up. And the next step, now you could either tie it or you can use toothpicks and basically just close it up. I just use the toothpicks because it's easy. It's really simple. And one more for good measure. So there it is, all ready to go. Next step is just throwing it on the grill. Now it's just a matter of cooking it the way you like it. Me personally, I like my steaks medium rare, but you can cook it however you like. Now I normally like to cook it on one side for approximately about a minute, then I flip it over and cook it the rest of the way. So we're gonna do that right now. Oh, that's already looking good. And again, you can really cook it to your preference. I'll probably have this on the grill for maybe about 10 minutes at most. And of course that depends on what the temperature of your grill is as well. But this size of backstrap and the temperature I'm running, about 10 minutes. All right, now is the moment of truth. Use this plate here. Oh yeah. All right, let's check it out here. Oh yeah. Might want to let it cool off just a little bit. I'll pull these toothpicks out. Get them out. Toothpick right there. You go. And just cut a little piece here, and it's a big piece actually. absolutely excellent. And quite honestly, that's all there is to it. Now I'm going to invite these guys that are running the camera over here to enjoy some of this too. So if you're looking for a great deer backstrap recipe that's easy and, trust me, phenomenal tasting, give this a try. You'll be glad you did.
1, go.
All right. Well, hopefully, I guess we had a little technical difficulty there, so we jumped right into a recipe that I had put together. So hopefully you made some notes. If not, go back and watch it again, but give that a try. You'll really enjoy it. So anyways, Chris, last we were chatting before we ran into some issues, you had kind of talked about your upcoming fall season, and it sounds like you're running pretty well nonstop. So that's a good thing, and that's kind of what you have to do when you're in this, in the TV business. Is that?
Hey, Rick, sounds like our audio problem is fixed.
We got our audio problems fixed. Well, that's a great sign. But Boomer, are you still with me?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So, anyways, we were. Well, first, I guess tell the people what time your show airs on the Sports Channel so they can check it out sometime.
Okay, I wrote it down there just so I don't mess it up. It's Wild Memories TV. It's on the Sportsman's Channel. The first airing every week is going to be Tuesday at 6:30 a.m. So get a cup of coffee. Thursday at 8:30 a.m. So right before you leave for work, so you can get that and get fired up for the day. And then Sunday at 5 a.m. before church and 10 a.m. after church. So, it's a morning show, and you got 4 times a week to watch it. And again, it's on the Sportsman's Channel.
Right. And it's real easy just to hit record and sit back and watch it whenever you get a chance. So, hey, let's talk a little bit. I know lots of people, when I was in charge of all our production and camera guys back in my HS days, I did camera schools, and things have changed so much. I could still give a camera school, but it'd probably be a little bit of the old stuff in there. But, lots of people are always asking me questions and wanting tips on self-filming. So let's talk about that a little bit. What could you tell people out there to maybe give them a little bit more of an upper hand when they're out in the woods?
Okay. So for a self-filming person, first off, you have to understand it's hard. And when you add the element, hunting is hard enough. When you add the element of a camera into it, now you're asking for things to go wrong, and you're asking for that moment of truth to be that much more precise and harder. So one thing that I would definitely, 3 things. I would definitely say you need an action camera. You have to have an action camera to get a second angle or something to talk to carry the audience while you're out and about, on your adventure. I would recommend some kind of small handy cam, like a Sony Z90, Sony X70, somewhere in there. And then for the more expert photographers, or a little bit above amateur, I would say somewhere between maybe like a DSLR or bridge camera. Like I have a Sony A7 III. I use a 16 by 35 lens for B-roll, and then I use a 28 by 135 lens for my actual in-hunt footage on the animal. If you're hunting in a tree, you're going to need a base. You're going to need a tree arm. You're going to need a fluid head. These are important things. You need these things to be able to produce more than just, hey, look at this clip of my hunt. You're going to need these things to actually have footage that's worthy of an edit that, you can put together to show your buddies, put it on YouTube, or, maybe you'll even find yourself on TV one day. You never know.
So, not everybody can afford to run out and buy everything that you've got, obviously. And you're doing this professional wise, you have a show, and some of these people are just wanting to film, for fun, or maybe with the hopes of getting on somebody's show. And, I remember way back in the day when we first got into video cameras, and we were shooting on cameras that you're probably not even familiar with, but beta cams years ago. Pat Reeve, some people know, and myself and some others, we were running beta cams, and they cost $60,000 a piece back then. And they ran on tape. And you could only get 30 minutes on a tape. So, and then the batteries were huge bricks. I mean, the things weighed a ton. And then because of that, you had these big Sackler tripods that you had to use, and they weighed as much as a camera. I mean, when we went out hunting, you had 150 pounds that you were carrying with you. It was not fun, but
But let people know, in your opinion, what could they get by as far as spending to buy something just to go out and film themselves, because cameras are so much less expensive nowadays with great quality.
Right. I'd say probably, if you want something that is going to be superb quality, but is within the realm of affordability. I mean, like I said, that Sony Z90, you can get that for about like $2,000, which I understand sounds like a lot, but you can do it all with it. You can get B-roll. It has a variable zoom lens. You could go from a 2.8 f-stop all the way up to a 22 f-stop. And, you're going to be able to get these cinematic shots, but yet still your real-time action feel footage, almost like, basically like reality television style. And then, like I said, get yourself a good action camera. Alpen makes a great action camera, just like this one right here, the Shasta Ridge. I have one in my pack with me all the time. And it's a good camera. It comes with plenty of mounts, and you can just talk to it. When you're just talking to it, that's extra footage, extra content. You're carrying the hunt along. You're keeping the audience engaged. So I would say, to do something that's darn near on a professional level, but at a hobbyist, price, I'd say you're looking at around $2,500 to really get something that's going to be professional. But of course, there's stuff that's lower too. I mean, there's cameras that are $800. As long as it takes as long as it's 4K. And as long as it takes an SD card, you're in the game.
Right. Well, I'm glad you talked about the action camera. I want to talk just a little bit about this. Now, this is the Alpen 4K action camera, and actually they're in a container on the water right now, heading to Arkansas. But this camera is going to retail between $160 and $170, and there's a few things I really like about it. First of all, it's Bluetooth that will go to a remote, but it's also Wi-Fi, so you can run it off your smartphone. And there's, like you were talking about, all the accessories. But here's one I really like. And this is a stake that comes with it. It just screws into the camera, sticks in the ground, and I love this for turkey hunting. I mean it comes with it. And of course it's waterproof. It also comes with a case that makes it waterproof down to 100 feet even further. So, but lots of different options. I'm glad you brought that up.
Hey,
Let's
Rick.
talk.
Hey, Rick.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Brian has a question for Chris. And he says, so what is a short list of things you take when you're traveling?
Toilet paper. Definitely always take enough batteries, chargers, SD cards. Definitely take cell phone chargers. Definitely take pen and paper with me. Always have pen and paper on me. Always have a good set of binos. I always make sure I have 2s and 3s of things. You always want to make sure you have more socks than you think you need. Always have socks. You never know when you're going to get wet. Extra pair of boots. This year, actually turkey hunting down in North Carolina was, I underestimated just how swampy it gets down there in Hyde County. And my feet got soaked, thank God. I had a couple extra pair of socks because I didn't have a pair of rubber boots. So it was, alternating socks throughout the day and then washing them in the night. So make sure you have a pair of socks. That's definitely something.
Yeah, and if you're down south, take your thermostat with you. You'll be glad you took that. But that was a great question coming from Brian. But let's talk a little bit about how important, audio is just as important in my mind as video. Touch on that.
Okay, so I'll show you this right here. So on a Bruce camera or DSLR camera, this is the Sony A7 III that I have here. This is going to be one of your higher end photos, good for higher end cameras, good for photos and video. I have what's called K3M from Sony, and that has an audio mixer there. You're going to have a shotgun mic, and then you're going to be able to mount your wireless microphone. So this is going to be wireless. The microphone will be here. You'll see that on all the hunters on television. And then this is going to be your shotgun mic, which is going to pick up your ambient noises. Your deer walking, your turkeys gobbling in the distance. Those are the little things that make television or YouTube or it just brings the hunt to life when you can really, sit there and listen and hear, what's really going on. So you feel like you're in the stand with the guy or you're sitting at the base of the tree with him as well.
Right, exactly. And there's all kinds. They range in all kinds of different prices. And in my opinion,
I would probably, if you had the money, I wouldn't spend less than $500 on a lav mic, and you could spend up to $2,500. It really just depends what you're looking for. But now let's talk a little bit about, I get people that do this all the time. They send me footage. They want us to use it, and they filmed everything
Hey, Rick.
on, autofocus. And
Hey, Rick.
quite honestly, it didn't turn out, and tell people why they shouldn't film on autofocus.
Okay, so autofocus is basically going to pick up the first thing that the camera can recognize. So let's say you're, so for me in Pennsylvania, we have a lot of maple trees, we have a lot of oak trees, you're 20 feet in the air. The cameraman sometimes is another 3-4 feet above you. So
Guys,
down.
It looks
Yes,
like
our
our sound has gone down again.
Okay, so what do you want us to do?
I can't hear anything
saying back here
at the studio.
So
Well, maybe you better. How's it on Facebook, Boomer? Can you hear us?
I mean,
I do not know what's happening, and I've been trying to fix it, and it's not letting me.
the closed captioning is running, so people can read it.
We're having some technical difficulties once again. So if you're reading that, we're at a little bit of a baffle here. Chris and I obviously are in two different states, and Paul's in Arkansas, and Chris being in Pennsylvania, and I'm in Iowa. Chris and I are doing it over our phones, so we're kind of at the mercy of Zoom and what Paul's got going on there from the studio. So we apologize for any inconvenience or issues on the show here, but maybe we'll hear back from Paul here in just a second till he's got things up and going again here.
It's going to take a reboot, unfortunately, to fix
what's going
on.
All right. Well, if they're not hearing us, Paul, do you want to take us on out of the show, and maybe Chris, we can get you back next week, and we can try to redo this.
Okay. There's no way we can play the teaser, maybe? No?
Could you put that in there, Paul?
Yeah. Hang on.
Throw that on, and then maybe you can fix it in between.
Yeah.
Just went around that big rock. I don't have my stuff. Take your time. You got time. Just get ready. He's still there. Just get ready. Oh, I forgot to put my release on. I'll get him. I see him. Wyatt. Okay. As soon as he stops.
So my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you tuning in to On the Hunt with Alpine Optics with Mr. Rick White and Boomer Davidson. But this looks like our unfortunate debacle is going to keep going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to boot everything and restart it. And next week we're going to have Boomer back on again. So the good news is that Boomer is going to absolutely give any answers that he can for your questions. And we'll see you next week. Thanks.
Let's talk a little bit about Alpen and Bresser optics. Now they have a full line of optics, but what I want to talk to you now about is rangefinders. They have several different varieties of handheld rangefinders and the new bow rangefinder. Now for you bow hunters, you go ahead and sight in at 20 yards and you calibrate it to your 20-yard pin, and when you're at full draw, whatever you're pointing that 20-yard pin on an object, it'll tell you the yardage. So whether you like a handheld or you want to put one on your bow, we have both options for you here at Alpen and Bresser Optics. Well, I'm out doing a little bit of late evening scouting, just looking for deer and waiting for them to come out into the field. But I've got a new pair of Alpen Teton binoculars. You know, a lot of times people will ask me, what binoculars are best in low light situations? Well, that's simple. The answer is the Alpen Teton binoculars. And the reason for that is they have the Abbey Koenig prism, which simply means it allows 94% of available light to get through these binoculars, making them an excellent pair of binoculars in low light. So if you're looking for a pair of binoculars that will see detail into a dark timber right now, this time of the evening, make sure you check out the Alpen Teton binoculars. You'll be glad you did. Oh, here's some deer coming out right now. Hi, I'm Rick White with Alpen Optics, and I want to talk to you today about the new Alpen Shasta Ridge binoculars. Now they're lighter than the older Shasta Ridges, new sleek design, fog-proof, waterproof, BAK4 prisms, phase-coated, and the lenses are multi-coated. Inexpensive pair of binoculars with great quality. So if you're looking to save a little money, but still put quality in your backpack, make sure you check out the Alpen Shasta Ridge binoculars. Let's talk a little bit about Alpen and Bresser optics. Now they have a full line of optics, but what I want to talk to you now about is rangefinders. They have several different varieties of handheld rangefinders and the new bow rangefinder. Now for you bow hunters, you go ahead and sight in at 20 yards and you calibrate it to your 20-yard pin, and when you're at full draw, whatever you're pointing that 20-yard pin on an object, it'll tell you the yardage. So whether you like a handheld or you want to put one on your bow, we have both options for you here at Alpen and Bresser Optics.